What is RMP? Resting membrane potential is the voltage difference across resting cell membrane. Usually minus 70 millivolt in neuron, minus 90 millivolt in skeletal muscle. So if there are two electrode, one inside, other outside the cell membrane, there will be a potential difference, and that is called as resting membrane potential. And this is due to which ion? Potassium, potassium, and potassium. Please don't forget this. Hyperkalemia and hypokalemia, they are dangerous. Why? RMP is due to potassium. It plays the most critical role, as membrane is most permeable to potassium, not to sodium. At the resting condition, your cell membrane are permeable to potassium. Potassium can go out. Sodium cannot come inside, my dear doctor. Sodium is not permeable at resting condition. Only when there is a stimulus. Only when there is a stimulus, it becomes permeable. So for action potential, sodium is important. But during resting condition, sodium is not permeable. Only potassium is permeable, my dear doctor. So when potassium is coming out, this will be negative charge. This will be negative charge. So who generate RMP? Answer is potassium. But if they ask you who maintain it, who maintains RMP, then answer will be sodium potassium pump. My dear doctor, please remember, sodium potassium pump is not generating. It is maintaining the RMP. And you can remember by the mnemonic Nokia. Nokia. Sodium out, potassium in. What is the ratio? 3:2. 3 sodium out, 2 potassium in. It maintains the gradient. So inside will be negative. So Nokia is sodium out, potassium in with the help of ATP. Ratio is 3:1. Okay. Now, next point which can be asked. RMP of various cell type. Neuron has minus 70. Skeletal muscle has minus 90. Cardiac muscle has minus 90. SA node has minus 60. So these are the 4 which you have to remember regarding RMP. Now, threshold potential remain unchanged. So any shift in RMP affect the ease of reaching it. Threshold potential remain unchanged. RMP can be changed. So how? Remember, my dear doctor, in hyperkalemia, RMP become less negative. In hyperkalemia, RMP become less negative. In hypokalemia, RMP becomes more negative. This is the crux of why there is ECG differences in hyperkalemia and hypokalemia. See, RMP is due to potassium efflux. You know that point. RMP is due to potassium efflux. If there is hyperkalemia, potassium efflux will be more or less. If there is hyperkalemia, potassium efflux will be less. So RMP will be less negative. On the other hand, if there is a hypokalemia, more potassium have to go outside to generate RMP. So RMP will be more negative. This is coming in almost every NEET PG and we are making mistakes. Is this clear, doctor? Disturbed RMP will impact the nerve conduction. We know that. Now, in hypokalemia, I told you already, RMP become more negative. Cell become less excitable. In hyperkalemia, RMP become less negative. So both will cause decrease in the excitability. And if you remember the ECG changes in hyperkalemia and hypokalemia, in hyperkalemia, remember the mnemonic is PQRST. The mnemonic, remember, hyperkalemia is PQRST. P is absent. In hyperkalemia, P is absent. QRS is wide. And T will be tall and dented. Okay. So what are the ECG changes in hyperkalemia, doctor? P wave will be absent. QRS will be wide and T will be tall dented. All the 3 features of hyperkalemia. Regarding hypokalemia, the mnemonic is stupor T. stupor T. Okay, ST wave depression, U wave PR will decrease and T wave will be inverted, stupor T. So initially they were asking only about T wave, tall T wave hyperkalemia and inverted T wave hypokalemia. But now they are asking exactly what are the other features. Okay.